Did my Discord break the timeless meta? Well, I haven't lost a match with this deck yet, so maybe. Last night, someone on my Discord, Pickos, went ahead and sent me their very cool new Esper Ephemerate list. It was a little bit different than what we have here, so first I want to show off what they sent me, and I will have a link to this Discord in the video description in a comment somewhere for you to join if you also want to talk about Timeless and try to think up new decks like this. So Reed recently on the channel tried out both Rakdos Scam and also Red White Scam. So obviously next comes Black White, and Bikos had been cooking on this version of it for a while, playing some really cool cards. And what I love about this deck is that it has a backdoor Reanimate Atraxa package built into it as well. It's not really just a scam deck. We're also reanimating Atraxa. We also have a lot of fair 2 mana creatures that can attack and block and win through creature combat in their own right. It has some very, very powerful cards that I'm really high on lately, such as Satoru and Psychic Frog. But I did look at this list and I decided to make a couple of changes to it. And the version that I made, I played 4 best of 3s this morning. I won all of them. We've yet to lose. So what I did not like about this deck is a lot of these creatures in the creature suites are a bit mid. If you remember last time we were toying with Rakdos Scam, I cut Bowmasters from the deck and I didn't look back. I think the card is pretty mid in the meta right now. Philia is also a card that I have cut from my Boros Energy builds in the past, and I'm not super happy with it. Sometimes it just can't attack, and the card just sits there and it doesn't do very much. And Diviner of the Fates, I will have to agree this is a really potentially powerful effect, but I own 0 copies of this card and I wasn't ready to blow 4 mythics on an alchemy card. So I was doing a little bit of thinking about this shell, and we are in blue to support the black white scam. So what I decided to do was actually switch up the deck and lean even more on that blue. So what I decided to do was put in a Brainstorm and Tameo package to help make the deck a little bit more consistent and also provide another busted 2 card combo that this deck can do. This deck is pretty slow as is, so flipping Tameo into a Planeswalker and using the +2 ability helps slow down the game a lot to the correct pace that this deck actually wants to play at. It helps keep you safe from the Boros beatdown, among other things. And that means we also get to play Faithful Mending, which I think is a fantastic discard outlet. It's one that gains you life. It's one that has flashback. I'm really, really happy to make this play. And in order to play these cards, oh, and some main deck Swords to Plowshares as well, because we're kind of slow. I think we need a bit more main deck creature removal. So this is 13 cards that I fit in, and I took out those cards that I mentioned. I took out the Philias, I took out the Bowmasters, and I took out the 3 mana alchemy card and 1 Satoru to make room for these 13s. And played 4 games. I haven't lost one yet. This seems sick. Mana base is what you would expect as well. It's just Esper colors. We don't have the green source to cast Atraxa. I really don't think that's relevant. But we have a lot of Surveillance. We have all 3 in every single color pair. We have a Surveil land. We have access to all of our basics as well. And for the sideboard, we have pretty much a fair half and an unfair half of the sideboard. This top half, the BO1 part, is for fair decks. So we have more spot removal. So we have the full 4 copies of Swords to Plowshares for when needed. We have a Fragment Reality as a 5th copy that can also hit funny things like enchantments. We have a Sun Cleanser for the energy matchups, and we have 3 copies of Toxic Deluge because this card is an absolute all-star. Then for the unfair decks, we got 4 Thoughtseize so that we can pack the extra hand hate, rip people's combos apart. So we got the Surgical Extraction so that we can screw up graveyard combos and also just permanently remove combo pieces from our opponent's decks. And we got 2 copies of the Flute for where necessary. Now, this is a first draft of the deck, really second. One other person had worked on this deck. I took it, I made some pretty considerable changes to it, and this is my first take on how this deck should look. It's not at all finalized, but it seems really good so far. I can be convinced that a lot of things about the deck should be changed. Like, for example, Mana Drain and blue counterspells are something that this deck isn't running right now. I could definitely be convinced to run them. I definitely could be convinced to run Mana Drain, Scare, and Scolding at least in the sideboard. So if other people want to try out that, Spell Snare as well is also a very good card in the meta. It's just that I was a little sus on running too many mono blue cards in the main deck, because think about it, we are a Grief Solitude deck at the end of the day. I cut our Esper creature that was helping us pitch really well, and I included two mono blue cards that don't pitch to any of our elementals. So it's a little rough trying to squeeze another blue card into the deck. So that's why I went ahead and just did black and white cards in the sideboard. I felt like it was a bit too much of a squeeze, but I could be totally wrong about that. Also, like the colored mana requirements in this deck is really intense. Like, look, these are all single color, these are all double color, and then more double color over here. So mana drain is not like really helping us cheat on mana like it can in some other decks. I think that's it for my thoughts on this deck. I think the best way to show it off is just to get straight into the gameplay. So I'll see you guys there. All right, game one with the deck. We will be against Nat Rashid. I was undefeated 4-0 in testing by myself, so hopefully I don't look like a goofball hyping up this deck saying it's going to be amazing, and it's not. Unfortunately, we have the Ephemerates, the Reanimates, but nothing to Ephemer or Reanimate. So we're going to send it back. My opponent's on Lurrus, so Swords is good against them, but that is one good card out of 7. Oh, unfortunately, we got screwed again. So we're going to go ahead and send this back. We're going to go to 5. Hopefully we get a very, very strong 5 that involves ephemerating a Grief or something along those lines. All right, we have a flip Tamiyo hand. I'm not going to go to 4. I am going to keep this. We're going to put back the Tamiyo, the extra copy, and the Ephemerate, and then we'll keep this hand off of the strength of Brandstorm plus Tamiyo together, as well as Swords to Plowshares for some removal. And then here, I think we're just going to run out the Tamiyo. If she eats a removal spell, that's rather unfortunate. Our opponent also went to 5, actually, so maybe I don't have to be hasty. Another growth. So what do we want to do? Do you think it's a good idea to just run out the Tamiyo? If we don't run out the Tamiyo, we're going to be flipping her very, very, very slowly. I think we probably should. And hopefully draw out of this situation. I'm glad our opponent also mulled to 5, so I don't feel too terrible. Yep, Tamiyo's gonna go. Let's see what we draw here. Okay, we drew a Sewers. So what do we want to do with this information? We could play the Sewers so that next turn we play Frog, back it up with the Swords. I want to hold this Brainstorm for a while until we get a fetch land or a better idea of how this game is going to unfold. So I think what we should do this turn is we just play the Sewers, we Surveil, then we pass to next turn, and the next turn we double spell. Psychic Frog plus Swords to Plowshares. Or perhaps something else if something really cool comes off the top of the deck. Satoru is a cool card. However, I don't have a use for him right now. I'm not going to draw a card with him, so I'm going to put him in the graveyard. And we're going to pass the turn. Alright, I'll take 2. And a big Goyf. Okay. Alright, nice. Solitude showed up. Solitude, not great on our current state. We're still going to stick with our plan from before of we play the Psychic Frog and then we Swords the Goyf. And then hopefully we can get some hits in with the Psychic Frog. And start drawing some cards and getting our card advantage back. Good news about Swords here is that they can't buy back whatever I kill with Lurrus. And take this out. We'll think about what we want to do this turn. I think we start with a Brainstorm every single time. Or is also a card, but let's Brainstorm. Let's figure out what our turn plan is going to be. Okay, we hit some gamer cards. We can discard an Atraxa. Can we reanimate it? No. We may also just pitch it to Solitude. That's an option. So what I'm thinking right now is that we might just want to Solitude their Lurrus. Thinking ahead a bit. So the cards we would keep are Atraxa plus Solitude. We would have the option of discarding Atraxa to our Psychic Frog if we draw another pitch for Solitude. We're going to put these 2 back. We're going to fetch here. just to clear the top of our library. We're going to surveil and see if we like the card that's on top, and then with these cards that's in our graveyard, we can fly the Psychic Frog and draw a card. Get a second black and a second white source here. So if we hit a land here, yeah, I think I might be interested in hard casting the Solitude next turn. Am I interested in that? Other than pitch casting it? Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. We'll keep you on top. I will exile 3 cards from my graveyard. So any non-creatures in our graveyard in this deck doesn't matter. It's just creatures that matter. Well, actually, that's false. If we flip a Tameo, instants and sorceries matter. For Reanimate, creatures matter. We don't have a Tameo that's in our hand or able to be flipped, so I'm going to ignore that and just keep the creature. All right, and we have Emergency Solitude if needed, but realistically what we're going to do is we're just going to Solitude our opponent fair. Also, I think I should have, maybe I should have just discarded Atraxa for the 1 extra damage. Maybe. Might do that later. Tide of Souls, okay. Certified Favorite. Okay, and no Lurrus is going to come through. Alright. If they attack. They do attack with their Goyf. I don't think we're supposed to Solitude any of these cards. I think we're supposed to draw here. Okay, I'll take the Painless Land over the Delta. And I think I am going to go to combat. Because I'm happy to discard the Delta and the Atraxa, making my guy a 3/4, meaning they can't like really kill it by blocking it. So we're going to go to combat without flying. If they multi-block, I'm going to be happy to just discard some stuff. They will not multi-block, makes sense. And then maybe next turn we can think about flying it. And then we're just going to Solitude this Lurrus when it hits the battlefield, because I'm sure that's what they're playing. Another Goyf? Yep. If they fly a Goyf, I think I might consider Solituding that instead. Like if they spend the 3 energy here, it's going to be a lot of damage. Okay, yep, there you go. I do like this Zoo deck that they've got going. Marrying Their Apprentice is a card that's impressed me in the past. Okay, there's your Lurrus that we predicted. Okay. Got some lands here. These are things that could definitely get discarded to the Crazy Frog. I think maybe we should discard our whole hand to the Crazy Frog and get in there, right? Let me just think about their blocks. They have free blocks, right? Because they can always use Lurrus to buy things back. So they're going to be pretty interested in blocking. So I think what I'm going to do here is we're going to discard a bunch of stuff and we're going to fly. We don't need these lands. Let's make a big frog and let's fly him in. Keep the Atraxa there in case we spike a Reanimate. Then we have Solitude back to block with Lifelink, which is pretty strong. Okay, ooh, Faithful Mending. That's good. Not great right now, but it's good. We need more cards in hand before we actually cast this. So hopefully it can help us find our Reanimate, and then we can Reanimate Atraxa next turn. All right. It looks like my opponent is looking to just buy back this Apprentice with Lurrus. I'll go ahead and take it. I'm happy to gain 3 here. Well, it's technically a 4-life swing. They get some energy and such. But hopefully we get to do a busted Atraxa thing soon. Alright, so now the frog is big, but they're still probably happy to chump block it, so I should be flying the frog if we want to get in there. I think what I should do is cast the Mending, see if we can hit a really dope card, such as a Reanimate. You know, so brainstorm to try to find the dope card. Is that the plan? I think it might be the plan. There's lots of dope cards. Reanimate, Ephemerate for Solitude is also like very, very dope right now. Well, no dope cards, unfortunately. Okay, I don't want any of these. So I think we might just want to play the Delta and shuffle. Shuffle and Surveil, and then we'll fly in our frog. Our opponent's really getting the beat down on, so I'm starting to get kind of concerned. I don't think I need another frog. I think we need the Ephemerate or the Reanimate to show up. Both would be very, very good right now. Okay, we can brainstorm next turn, so hopefully we find something nice. Ooh, offering up a Lurrus? They're probably flying the Lurrus, right? Yeah. That's great. So I'm just going to take all the damage here. We're hoping to ephemerate this Solitude in an ideal world. Ooh, Static Prison probably for my Froggy Boy, right? Yeah. Alright, that might be game. Ooh! I don't have life for that. Guess who doesn't have the life for Reanimate? I don't. There is an Atraxa. Hmm. I don't have the life for a Reanimate. Maybe I should have mended from my graveyard first. Get a couple cards deeper. Yeah, that should have been the play. So let's go ahead and cast this second Solitude here. Second Solitude's going to take out the Lurrus. And then I'm pretty much dead, but I'm not immediately dead. Birthing Ritual, sweet. Yeah, this is a cool zoo deck. But we have lots of Toxic Deluges just for this deck. Ooh, nice, nice. Doing the Ocelot Pride Guide of Souls thing. So here we're going to want to go a little bit deeper. We're going to go even further beyond. We're going to mend faithfully. And I think we lose. Yeah, I mean, I could reanimate a Crazy Frog. If I reanimate a Crazy Frog, they just fly one of their glyphs, right? If I reanimate a Traxa, I'm dead. Could attack with a Solitude and then reanimate something fun? Actually, yeah, maybe that's the plan. Attack with both Solitudes even. And now I'm putting them on having removal for Atraxa. Okay, cool. Yeah, we trade. I go to 12. They have less power on board, and now... Oh, yeah, I go to 10. But... Give me an Atraxa. Oh, right. Oh, options. I can faithfully mend and gain 2 life. That's going to help a lot. This is the only sorcery, so I will take it. And we will take a land. We will also have the choice of a Grief or a Tameo. I think we will take either empty-handed, so we'll take a Tameo. And then we can flip the Tammy, right? We haven't drawn cards yet this turn. Oh no, I can't fetch the right kind of basic. We already have our basic island in play, and we're out of life here. So we're just gonna faithfully mend, just to gain a tiny bit of life. We can do that on our opponent's turn though. So our opponent has to find a removal spell for Atraxa here. And if they don't find it in this turn cycle, then we're gonna start gaining a bunch of life and hopefully turn a corner. We also flip our Tameo very soon, which is awesome. Oh wow, they have nothing. Nice. I think it's fine to faithfully mend right now. I think I'm happy to throw one of these reanimates away. I'm not actually. We're gonna gain so much life, we're gonna use them. Oh, okay. Bad. No one? Okay, that's something maybe I could have played around. I'm going to go to combat with my Atraxa. Reanimate and get a Solitude back. It is 5 life, but we get to faithfully mend after this. I think it's fine. Okay, and then we play a Tameo, we faithfully mend, and then we have Ephemerate Solitude up for in case something really funny happens. That's my 3rd card, so yes, Tameo flips. Plus.
I hope you don't mind if I take notes.
Alright, and I think we're back in the driver's seat. It was scary for a second. Right, no attacks. That's awesome. If they get anything scary, like we can just Ephemerate Solitude and take it out. The Pride? I don't care. I don't think I want anything from my graveyard. I think we're just going to keep plussing Tamio. I think we're going to
I
attack
am
with all the
not
lifelink in the
ready.
world. We could choose to reanimate once again. Let's go ahead and reanimate yet another Solitude. And then we'll hit their Guide of Souls here. Maybe we could have hit the Apprentice. That's a card that is threatening some reach. Yeah, okay, they'll scoop it up. Okay, so against this, we do have the technology here. We're not going to bring in Graveyard technology for them, but we're going to bring in a Fragment Reality, 2 Swords to Plowshares, and these Deluges. And then when we're against creature decks like this, Grief is at its worst, and I personally think that Grief should be getting cut. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me for cutting Grief out of the Grief Scam deck. Don't yell at me, okay? And then we can cut some Satorus as well, because we care a little bit less about getting a lot of value and a bit more about making sure that board stays clear and just getting ourselves not dead more than anything. And I think we run this back. Okay, we have reanimates, but we have nothing to reanimate. I think this is this fine? Eh, not when the Lurrus deck is going first and they might beat us down with Netherglyphs. Oof, this isn't great either. But I think we're going to keep it. I'm not a fan of going to 5. Here, we'll just play Tamio and try to flip her. I'll Fragment Reality another Glyph if it comes out right now. Yeah, that card's gotta go. So Fragment Reality, when used on a 1-drop like this, just makes it go away. And it's really, really good against Lurrus decks for that reason. It also exiles it, of course. Ooh, is that a way to flip Tamio? I like it. I like that this deck actually has 2 cards to flip Tamio, and it's not just Brainstorm. It's very powerful.
No, no.
There's an argument maybe to wait a turn, so that we could play Tamio and flip her at the same time, but it's not the end of the world if my opponent uses a removal spell here. Oh, Masters. Not a fan of that card. We can probably just Swords it so that we can get Mending. Alright, Birthing Ritual, you've got it. I'm gonna let them resolve their Birthing Ritual trigger before I mess with them. I do thing. You got a Guide of Souls, sure. We're gonna Swords the Bowmasters. We don't have another untapped white source because one's in play, one's in our hand. And we can't get basic planes off of this, so let's go ahead and just Surveil here. Blue-white seems good. We don't need 5th land. Now we can Shock. We can Swords the Bowmasters out of the way. I'm going to attack for my Clue. And then we can go ahead and Faithfully Mend. Do we want another Tammy? I love Tammy. Sure, we'll take another one of her. Alright, now that this Tamio and our life total are both super safe, we can just take our time here. Alright, there she goes. But we got an extra for a reason, right?
Some people never.
Oh, there's nothing in their graveyard for us to reanimate yet. I was thinking about it. Well, I was definitely thinking. Alright, Tamio helping us out even after death. Gotta love it. I'm tempted to reanimate this Tarmo as a blocker. Johnny, nice. But I see the ability to play and flip another Tameo. I think that's good enough for me. Play Tameo, flip Tameo. Hopefully we can do something like Bin and Atraxa. And then that'll be very, very good for us. Oh, no, we don't. Definitely get rid of the Mending. Do I need the swords? I think I do. I think I'd rather have it over the Reanimate. A little tough. Tough decision. Let's go ahead and plus Tameo yet again, slowing down our opponent. The more we can slow them down, the more we get time to bring back an Atraxa or something equally silly. Honestly, I'm thinking maybe we should have kept that Reanimate. Because like our real main win con here is to reanimate the Solitude or an Atraxa. Another Ritual, sure. We can attack Tammy, but not kill her. We will live on 1, which is exactly what I was hoping for. This card's just buying us time. A lot of time. They also get to flip in a Johnny here, but their deck has a notorious lack of red permanents. Very notable lack of red permanents for Mr. Ajani. They're just not going to flip him? Okay. Oh, they're going to sacrifice him. Nice. I like Apprentice a lot. I think I want to try Apprentice out in my Nightmare decks, like my energy one. In the Bowmaster slot. Been thinking it for a bit. Haven't done it yet. Alright, allow me to brainstorm first. Do we want to brainstorm first, or do we want to mend? If we mend, it's better if we just spike like Atraxa or Reanimate, but I think Brainstorm's a little more powerful on average. Okay, we can put back cards that we don't want here. Keep both of these. So what I think I'm going to do here, put both the lands on top. We're going to plus our Tammy, of course. We're going to crack our Clue. Draw a fetch land, and then we're going to Brainstorm again next turn. I will just go ahead and take out Guide of Souls with my swords. Oof. Rough. I wanted to Brainstorm. Alright. I think we maybe... because Tammy's dead here. I think we gotta take out the Bowmasters on end step instead. And hopefully we can get a Deluge or something along those lines.
Words can't fix everything.
Alright, Tammy passive, still protecting us. Well, it's not even a passive, it's a +1 ability. Either way, it's helping me out here. Nothing in my bin, right? Yeah, nothing relevant. Let's go ahead and Swords the Bowmasters. Let's let them do their triggers first. They might get rid of the Bowmasters, but I doubt they do that against a Brainstorm deck. Okay, they pass, and... see if they pass again. Oh no, they get rid of Bowmasters, huh? I was gonna Swords it, dude. Oh, okay, because they found another? Sure. Oh, so much life. Go ahead and get a Surveil in. I don't want another land. I need some action here. I need an Atraxa. Reanimate. Solitude. One of many good cards. Oh, there's an Atraxa and a Reanimate. Okay. Okay, that's good. So we can just mend here. And then reanimate the Atraxa. Seems good to me. Maybe I should have done mending first before the Brainstorm, just to get 2 cards deeper. I did that last game too, and I said the same thing. The classic. My god. I'm losing my mind out here. Well, this was a very hard card for our opponent to answer last time, so let's see if they could do it this time. Solitude. Ephemerate. Reanimate. Deluge. Oof. That's good stuff. Okay, so we have an emergency Solitude here for emergencies only. Our opponent does need to draw an Atraxa answer this turn, otherwise I think we get away with it. We just Deluge the board for 4 next turn. So Lurrus, I think we got away with it. Oh, he can't keep getting away with it like that, can he? Alright, we got emergency solitude just in case. Awesome. Alright, gaining so much life. It's gonna be a lot of Atraxa attack steps to actually end this game. Reanimate Apprentice is like seriously impressing me this game though. I've gotten pinged so many times. Oh my god, stop gaining life. Stop making energy. Okay. So we're gonna get in there. If our opponent decides to triple block my Atraxa to try and kill it, we can Solitude to prevent that. And then after the damage goes through, we will just Toxic Deluge. Are they gonna do it? Buddy, I have a face-up Solitude. What are you doing? I don't even think I need to pitch cast it anymore. I also don't think I need Deluge now. I'll play 5 mana Solitude. Get rid of the Marionette Apprentice. It's exiled, and now I gain a bunch of life. My Atraxa lives at 1. I'm at 9. We can Toxic Deluge next turn if it's still necessary. Alright, I get Tammy back. Why? Oh, because they're just gonna rebuy it with Lurrus. They hit the Atraxa? That makes a lot of sense. Right. We're gonna block here because I'm gonna deluge this board for 2. Oh, no more deluge for 2 for me, huh? I'm still fine to deluge the board for 5. I just want to get this Lurrus off the battlefield. And then we can play both Tamio and Crazy Frog after combat. That seems great to me. 5 life. And then next turn we might just flip Tamio with Psychic Frog drawing a card and cracking a clue.
I'll be in the library.
Yep, that's a big, stupid Goyf. That's all he is. He's just big and stupid. He's actually not even that big. He's a 2/3. Really? All these cards in your graveyard and he's a 2/3. Alright, there goes the 2/3. Boys, that's a good one. That's a good one to sack. Their board is a little too small to make it work right now, but that is potentially a very good one. Nice, nice. They're making it work. It's happening, guys. Oh, Solitude, perfect. Perfecto, as they would say. I'm gonna go ahead and exile 3 cards from my graveyard real fast. Just lightning fast, exile 3 lands. Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm about to end my opponent's career. I'm gonna start by drawing because I definitely do want to do this to flip my Tammy. Hand of Swords? I'm sorry, opponent, but this is the end of your career. You're not beating this deck. Long games, though, today, jeez. Solitude, Ephem. Hit your Elemental before it gets too big. Ephemerate it. Hit Marionette Apprentice. How long's this game been going? That's a long one. I can't read my timer. Does it say 13 minutes or what? There's not enough contrast for that. Theirs says 18, I can tell. Okay. Let's see if they decline again. I do want to crack this clue on end step. Okay, they got something here. We got a kitty cat. My favorite little kitty cat. Whoop, deluge, that's a good one. I'm sorry, kitty cat, but you gotta go to Jesus. good for the home team.
Think before you act.
I need some damage to go a little faster. Do I want to like discard this deluge? I think so, now that we're ahead enough on board. A little more damage every turn, that's all. Just a tiny bit. Another frog, that'll help accelerate this game a bit. Soon we'll be able to draw half our library, which admittedly is not even that many cards. Okay, whoa. Oh, that was a long game. Yeah, I do have 12 minutes left in my timer. Man, that was a half-hour game in the video. Okay, maybe only 2 games this video. All right, we are on the play against Biko18. Is that actually the person I think it is? Anyway, we're going to be on the play. And we have a turn 1 Grief Reanimate nonsense hand. I love it. Let's keep it, even though it's just a 1-lander. We will surely draw out of this. All right, and then here we're going to want blue-black. And we're a bit all in with this 1-lander, but it should work out. I hope. We don't need full control here, actually. We're just going to be reanimating it. Oh shit, it is the mirror. Yeah, this is the person who made the deck, Biko. That's funny. What do I take? I think I take both diviners. I think we're supposed to take both diviners. I could take an Ephemerate instead. Diviner is the scarier mid-range threat, though my hand gets shredded if they draw another black card if I take both diviners. I think I should take both diviners. Bring back. Oh, I can bring back a diviner. Alright, so we're just hoping that they don't draw a black card for the first turn or two. If they do, then oh no, it's gonna be a good old top deck battle. So here they have to take my Solitude, and if they don't take my Solitude or the Mending, then we can hit the Grief. The classic Grief Mirror. Alright, well, this is this deck's first chance to lose. I haven't lost with it yet. I know it's a small sample size. It's just me clickbaiting by saying that. But it would be funny if the first loss was the mirror match. I'm gonna brainstorm to hopefully get something good going. We hit something. I mean, like we play Tameo next turn. We don't have white mana, unfortunately. I don't know, was I supposed to wait a turn before I brainstormed there and perhaps play Tameo this turn? Because then next turn, yeah, I could have done that. I could have. Oh shit! Forgot there's an Ephemerate coming off whatchamacallit. Coming off rebound. That's my bad, honestly. I forgot. I forgot. Okay, so now we're doing really terrible. I needed to put like Ephemerate into my hand so that they would discard it because I don't need this card right now. And we're just on the Solitude, or excuse me, Grief turning sideways beats right now. Yeah, that was terrible sequencing by me. My bad. But if I do Tameo first, then they just take Brainstorm out of my hand, right? Then I would have been investigating every turn at least, and not been totally dead with my mana. Alright. It's the race to find white mana or a black removal spell. Or maybe a Solitude. That's another bad one. What a derpy matchup. I think I could have also had a Tamio in play if I sequenced a little better and I remembered that the grief was coming off, or the grief was going to get ephemerated again off of rebound. I think I would have been in a better spot. If we draw a white source, I think we're honestly fine. They go to 3, that means they gotta have a solitude, right? That's rough. Yeah. Alright, how the hell do I sideboard for the mirror? What do we do? Oh man, the hell do we do? I think the surges come in, surgicals. And yeah. The hell am I supposed to do? Swords is probably still a good idea. I think Satoru and Frog are going to be really important as card advantage pieces. Maybe the mending is the least important part now. I could believe that. Yeah. We sideboard it like this. All right. What we got? What we got? We have a not busted hand going first. I think we should mulligan and try to find a busted one. I think we need some bullshit. I'll mulligan once to try to find some bullshit. I don't think that's strong enough. Okay. No lands. Try again. I think we gotta keep this one, unfortunately. This sucks, though. Blast it back. I'll surveil on their end step. Okay, let's go ahead and grab... I think Psychic Frog mana is a little more important than having Swords mana right this moment. Put a Tamio in the graveyard. My turn? Okay, yeah, we get to slam a Psychic Frog. Hopefully it stays there. But with our opponent being a Solitude deck, just like us, it's not too likely. Okay. Sure. Welcome back. You can own. I could have probably solituded that there to prevent them from seeking another card, but I don't want to hemorrhage more card advantage when I'm already down on card advantage. I'm just going to swords it. You know, like a normal person. Next turn we're going to swords plus Tamio. Draw a card with our Psychic Frog. Hopefully things look good. Yep, and we go to surveil. So if we surveil first, does this influence our decision at all? No, I'd rather have a random card over a basic swamp. Put swords this out of the way. And then let's get attacking with our frog. I feel like this might eat a solitude for breakfast. Let's see. No, I get to draw my card. Cool. Another frog? That's dope. Always happy to see second frog. Frog is so good. I would play so many more than 4 copies if I could. I'd put like 8 or 10. The card is kind of crazy. And this is like the frog deck. What I really want is a white card for Solitude. Oh, nope. My opponent gets to do Solitude. Alright, there goes our frog. And they draw a card. Gain 1. And Ephemerate for my Tamio. Yeah, that might be game. Okay, whoa. Alright, hear me out, chat. There is a chance. I need to play nothing here so that they don't just, like, free Ephemerate. But there's actually a chance That is an Atraxa. We can spike a Reanimate. It is possible. We have the technology within the deck. Rebound's gonna happen. They're maybe gonna just decide to draw a card. They will just draw a card. Okay. Cool. We're so behind on card advantage, but if we get an Atraxa back, it doesn't matter. Alright. Ooh, another one. Okay, that's good. That means we can have one to pitch to Solitude. And the other can go to the graveyard. We'll play our crazy frog out here. Hey, leave him alone. Alright. So, I think our chance of winning this game pretty much comes down to us drawing a Reanimate. I have difficulty imagining we do it without that. But I find it quite easy to imagine with that. Oh, Master's okay. Now I'm thinking whether or not I should have Solitude anything just for my life total. I think this turn the answer is still no. And then next turn it becomes probably Tamio. That's a blocker. A blocker has been presented.
Curious.
Can't block Solitude, can't block Satoru, unfortunately, though. And I really don't want to just, like, Solitude my opponent's Solitude. That's not a winning plan. Oh, we're gonna have to here. Yeah, now we're at the point where we can't even reanimate and Atraxa to win, right? The Solitude comes out, I can hit their Solitude with it. Technically we're alive, but I don't think we have an out. They can flicker it? Yeah. We'll say GG's here. The deck creator wins. I think game one I definitely could have sequenced a little bit better. Game two, a little unfortunate with the mulligans. Maybe I was supposed to keep that first hand. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to keep that first hand. I'm not sure. It's a brand new deck, and I'm playing against the person who has dozens of games on it, right? Versus me, who just picked it up and made a bunch of changes for no good reason. Oh, right. We are going to be up against Puraneshi. We are going to be on the play, and we have a Reanimate Grief. I like it. Let's do it. And of course, we have Solitude backup as emergency removal as well. Okay. Go ahead and see what's going on in there. We got, the classic. I'll just take your threats. You can Thought Seize me. I don't really care. And take one of my Solitudes. It's not bad. I don't know why that happens sometimes, where a random upkeep step gets put in my opponent's turn. I'm not doing it. I don't think they're doing it either. Sure. You take one of my Solitudes, I really don't mind. And then we play this game in top deck mode. Ooh, that's a great draw when we're in top deck mode. That's going to get us some clues, draw some cards. Tamio has really impressed me for just like card advantage and making clues lately, actually. This card is a great way to like start recovering the card advantage from pitching away to all these elementals early. Alright, they're gonna get rid of Tamio? Yeah, that card's good. Cool. Now we have actual factual swords. And our opponent does need an energy generator if they want Tamio to stay away. Alright, there is a Guide of Souls that is an energy generator. Oh, would you look at who it is? I don't think I'm going to play here, because then our opponent's just going to let the Static Prison break. I want them to waste their energy on this. I'm thinking of giving her back anyway. And if they play a creature here, we're absolutely going to Swords the Guide of Souls. I'm not going to do it if I don't have to, though. Because they are dead to just another attack with my Grief. Alright, let's see what's on top. Brainstorm to flip the Tammy. We love it when we see it. Alright, they're going to fetch here. So now we can go ahead and Swords this Guide, and they're still dead to one more Grief attack. Thank you for the Tameo back. I appreciate it.
I've read nearly the entire library.
He has read the entire library. Alright, that is energy. Let's see what's under it. Okay, and it's just a land. Okay, creature decks. Creature part of the sideboard comes in. We're going to want those extra swords, the fragments, and the toxic deluges coming in. I think I like cutting some amount of griefs, some amount of Satorus. Might actually cut all of the griefs. All the griefs. Griefing their hand apart early is awesome, though, so we can cut, like, maybe an Atraxa, just to make room for an extra grief. Would cutting a Crazy Frog make sense? No, that card is crazy. It's the Crazy Frog. Alright, ooh, that's nothing in my hand. Okay, go up a land, draw 6 land openers, classic. We have bad luck with the mulligans today. I think we gotta keep this one. We do have the ability to, like, Ephemerate a Solitude, which is very, very, very strong against their deck, at least. I'm gonna put this shit back. Maybe we can keep the Brainstorm over the Satoru to help us get out of this trashy situation. That probably makes sense. Alright, thankfully, we have Ephemerate Solitude, so we should hopefully be able to stay in this game and make the game go long. Alright, yep, that's a Static Prison that you are not going to use. That's why I always caution people against playing their Raptors out, just turn 2 on the play like that. I want to Brainstorm here, but I think it might be wisest just to wait one more turn, and then this turn we spend our mana on Ephemerate Solitude, we draw one more card, and then we make our Brainstorm decision. I think that seems pretty good. Also want to wait on Ephemerate Solitude until they get 3 creatures in play, which they might off of this Amped Raptor here. Oh yeah, there's an Ajani.
May our axes strike as one.
All right, let's do it. Let's get rid of this Raptor. Then we get to Ephemerate. Get rid of another Raptor. Our opponent might have a removal spell here. Hope they don't. Okay. If they did, we could just reanimate the Solitude next turn. That'll be funny. Looks like they have something going on. I don't know what it is. Or maybe they're just, tilted. Alright, my turn. Got one more. Let's get rid of a Johnny. Alright, yep, let's go ahead and Brainstorm here. Let's see what's in our deck. Ooh, a bunch of lands. I don't want those, but what I do want is a Crazy Frog. And I think we can actually get basic swamp here. We already have 2 blue, 2 white. What a crazy boy. And now if we draw a big fatty like a Traxa, we can discard it and reanimate it. No, don't get my crazy frog. I'm gonna reanimate the frog, I swear. It's a good play. I might do it. Alright, what do they got this turn? Amped Raptor, yep, that's my boy. Into, is that Nightmare? Yeah, nice. Now they got the Nightmare loops going. Thankfully I exiled all their stuff, so no Nightmare loops for you. I think because they have a first strike blocker, we're gonna let Solitude die, and I'll reanimate it at some undisclosed point in the future. They hit another removal spell there, which is funny. And it tracks a killing removal spell with how much energy they have. Alright, I think I want my crazy frog back. This boy, he cannot be stopped. You have a surgical? Is that your last card? Is that why you have priority? Oh crap, they do. No, my crazy frog. It's my best card. Oh well. That's fine. There's still other good draws in my deck, and we have 20 life, so our opponent will have, it's take a while to kill us. We'll have a bunch of turns to draw out of this, and we get a Surveil to hopefully make it happen. Okay, looks like they don't have any more gas, so we do get a couple of turns to stabilize here. Let's get a Surveil in. We have one black source, so let's go for that. Ooh, that's a good one. Do I wait for them to cast Jegs? I think I do. I think I wait one more turn. It's a little greedy. But either they're going to cast Jegs or they're going to play 2 creatures from their hand, right? Very greedy from me, though. Okay. I guess we'll pay 1 life. And then play our Tameo. What do they have in hand? I guess just removal spells?
Nothing like warm tea and a
Looks like just removal spells. Alright, what are we looking to draw in this situation? Our crazy frogs have been taken from us unrightfully. Unethically, in fact, I could say. We're getting too low on life for Reanimate at this point. What do we want? No, we do. I guess we have 1 last turn to reanimate a Solitude before it's too bad. We can start Nightmare looping, which is a little troublesome. You know what? I think I'll take 1 more draw step. I've been on the Nightmare side of the table so many times. Once the Nightmare player starts looping a Bowmasters like this, it does not get better. Okay. Alright, and we keep the same boarding. Same configuration. Maybe we want another Satoru. Maybe I'm wrong to take all these threats out. So what do I want to take out instead? Faithful Mending, some removal spells. I think all these cards are better. Tameo is obscenely good in the matchup. This is good. All these other cards are like very good in the matchup, so I think we're going to stay as is. Okay, game 3 on the play. Let's get it. I see a removal spell. I see some brainstorms to sculpt our hand. Is this the objectively most powerful hand I've ever seen? No. Am I going to keep it? Yes. Leave mulligan to heck today. I don't want to do it again. I definitely think with this deck you can mulligan harder, but I've gotten burned by mulliganing a couple of times in a row. Let's just keep a hand with removal and card draw when we are on the play. It sounds like a pretty good deal. Our opponent is mulliganing to heck, though. I just saw 2 mulligans come through, so you're going to be keeping 5 at most to start. So hopefully we can find some action soon with these brainstorms. Let's begin with a Surveil. No thank you. Next turn we're going to be brainstorming, good for some juice. And our opponent did keep 5. Alright, we got some juice. We got a potential flip Tameo situation coming through next turn. So what do we want to put back? I want to keep both brainstorms so I can actually attempt to flip her twice. I'm just going to fetch another blue source here. A blue Surveil land. Alright, Guide of Souls, my boy. I don't think I need to Swords to Plowshares that right now. Definitely could. I don't think I need it to. I think this can go into the graveyard, though it is a way to flip the Tameo. I think it's just some free value if it goes to the graveyard, right? So we're going to flip our Tameo. If they try to Fatal Push it or something, they do not, then we would have brainstormed again. Alright, so what would we keep? What would we keep? Grief Ephemerate actually seems like it would go fucking hard. So let's put the lands back and let's Grief Ephemerate right now. We'd have to lose the Deluge for it. Actually, we can probably lose a Brainstorm. Unfortunately, we do have to lose the Deluge here. Alright. Ephemerate. Deluge. Actually, let's activate Tameo while we have priority just in case there's some weird spell. Then do this. Alright, this will mess them up after they mulligan to 5. Yeah, I will happily take a Bowmasters. And then take the Flage as well. I don't have mana for Flage. I think let's take the Amped Raptor. No, let's take Flage. They don't have mana for both. Flage would come through and kill my Grief, preventing me from, you know, griefing them again next turn, or potentially kill my Tameo. Yeah, opponent had to keep a pretty sus hand, just because they multi the 5. That's how it is sometimes. Happened to us earlier in the video. This is a tough spot for my opponent to be in. I think they're, like, assuming this isn't a red source in their hand, way less than 5% to win. Let's take that Amped Raptor out of their hand. Fatal Push? I don't care. Oh no, a crazy I would have taken the push. Bro, my crazy frog. Alright, I'm just not gonna play it then.
I am not defenseless.
That's fine. We're gonna draw half our library soon, boys, don't worry. Alright, Jegantha to hand, you love to see it. I think we save Swords for Jegantha. I think it's actually like they're out right now, just to play a big stupid 5/5. Don't think we need 5th Lana. Ooh, 2 crazy frogs though? Now you're speaking my language.
Respect the library.
Alright, hear me out.
I've done my research. This battle won't last much longer.
Oh man, this is good. I have no maximum hand size. Let's start with a fragmentation of reality upon your guide of souls. Okay, I was good. I was wondering why they didn't concede sooner. Okay. Yeah, that was fun. This deck's got some crazy stuff going on. I still think it's a really rough because we had some weird opening hands, some weird mulligans. The mana felt rough at times. I did add one more mana source. Maybe that's on me, but the mana is still like equally stretched between three colors, and I kind of strongly dislike it when a deck does that, when it like equally demands all of the colors so that you have a really tough time shocking and fetching and getting the correct mana of each type. It also has a limited number of untapped sources. I ran into a problem where we only had like one hollowed fountain in the deck and I wanted to fetch another untapped white, but we already had it. I don't know how to fix that though, because then you would have to trim basics or trim surveil lands, which are very good. Maybe we go down a surveil land just to play another untapped land as well. We could go down fetches as well. Maybe. But I do really like what we got going on here. I think this is good for a first draft. I want other people to tweak this. Like until today, when I picked this up, there was only one person working on this deck, and now there's two, and there's two competing variants. There is my version, which is the Tammy Brainstorm. There is the original version, which has more creatures. It's got Bowmaster, it's got Philia, it's got the cool alchemy card, and jury is still out on which one is better. I lost the mirror match today, so maybe the other one is better. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks. I hope someone else picks up this deck and starts winning some games with it.